Our nation is right to have borders, nothing wrong with that. Right to have immigration laws, we respect that. But as we meet people, we're going to love people and welcome strangers, remembering that in a very real sense, we are strangers right now. We are pilgrims passing through this world. And so we want to be a people full of mercy and care.
Welcome again to the Straight Truth Podcast. I'm your host, Josh Philpott. As always, I'm joined by Richard Caldwell, the pastor of Founders Baptist Church. And our special guest today is Stuart Sanders, pastor of Tomball Bible Church here in North Houston. As always, we invite you to leave a comment for us, and then we get to know your thoughts as we address these important issues. A big issue that's come up in our culture over the last few decades, but especially more so in the last few years, is the issue of immigration and whether or not there is a legality to the number of illegal immigrants there are in the United States, at least where we live. And then also accompanying that is this idea of refugees and how Christians should maybe respond to the scores of refugees coming from places that are under oppression like Syria,
right,
and other places like that. I'm just curious, what does the Bible say about something like illegal immigration or immigration generally, and how Christians should respond and maybe care for these people?
Well, the nation Israel, in the Old Testament, Israelites were taught to love strangers and to remember that they were strangers. And so we're taught as God's people to have compassion for strangers, for people who aren't originally from our land, didn't originally belong to our nation. And that holds true even into the church to this day. So I want to love and welcome strangers. And those who don't know Christ, I want to be a good witness to them with the gospel. Those who do know Christ, they're my brother or my sister, and so we want to love them and care for them. At the same time, as Christians, we are to be known for our submission to governing authorities. We're to be known not as lawbreakers, but people who respect the law. It's not wrong for there to be nations. It's not wrong for there to be governments. And so it's not wrong for a nation to have laws regarding immigration, protecting their borders, making decisions about who comes in and who doesn't. There's nothing wrong with that, and we need to respect that as Christian citizens. So there's that. I don't know how to explain it except to say there's a balance there that we have to learn. That we respect the law, we uphold the law, we support it, but at the same time we meet people who are here. And by the way, let me say this is a very complicated subject because all quote illegal immigrants are not here in the same way or for the same reasons. So I think our role is to say our nation is right to have borders, nothing wrong with that. Right to have immigration laws, we respect that. But as we meet people, we're going to love people and welcome strangers, remembering that in a very real sense, we are strangers right now. We are pilgrims passing through this world. And so we want to be a people full of mercy and care.
Yeah. Stuart, what would you add to that?
Keying off of what he said about people being here in different ways, I think we need to, as Christians, need to be very clear in separating our policy preferences versus our love and treatment of other people. I had a friend who was from El Salvador, and the way his parents brought him into the country was illegal. And his brother and sister, who were younger than him, were okay because they were under that age cap, but he was on the backside of it, and then some papers got filed wrong, and then he was here illegally. And he would have friends in the ministry that I was serving in, and we're sharing the gospel together, and they're just railing on immigrants and all these things, and he's just sitting there humbly, quietly, just taking it. And then he finally confessed to me that I'm here legally. I can't go on that thing because I don't have a driver's license. I don't have a passport. Can't go on that trip or that mission thing. And so considering the individual, that it is not wrong. I mean, everybody, whatever dwelling space you have, whether it be the home, business, state, whatever, it has rules for entering and exiting. But when somebody is in our midst, we absolutely move towards them with the love of Christ, that even down to the nation of Israel, if you drop something when you're gleaning your fields, you leave it.
Right.
Because we're going to care for the person who doesn't have, and regardless of their circumstance, when that person shows up, that's their food. Regardless of how they got there, whether it was their own sin, another sin, or just God's providence in moving things, that we do have that sense. So this is the city of man, city of God of Augustine, that we have to function in the city of man, but we are the people of God. And we move towards others in love, while at the same time acknowledging that a government must have order. There must be rules to govern.
And the example you gave is such a good one, Stuart, and we've dealt with similar things here. People we've met who are here illegally, but through a set of circumstances that is more innocent than many would imagine.
Yeah.
And so what do you do? And I think I see two extremes, and I don't want us to be guilty of either.
Sure.
The one extreme is to basically rail against immigration policy. So, land without borders. That's not the answer. That's not true.
Yeah.
The other end of the spectrum, though, is to paint everybody with the same brush. Everybody's here the same way for the same reasons. They all purposely violated the law when they entered the land. That's not true either.
Yeah.
And so we've even at times taken steps to help someone link up with an immigration attorney and try to work through this. So we're respecting the law, but helping the person. And so that's what we're aiming at.
Thanks again for joining us for the Straight Truth Podcast. Now, you can find all of our social media channels at our website, straighttruth.net. And so don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast. You can also find us in the podcast feed of your choice if you would like the audio-only version of this podcast. Now, Straight Truth is a production of Walking in Grace Ministries. For more info, go to walkingingrace.org. Thank you.